Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you get over to jerichogreen.net. Folks, are you getting an uneasy feeling about the future? You can't put your finger on it, but you know something big is going to happen soon, and it's not going to be good. Millions of American families feel that right now, and they're quietly stockpiling emergency food while they can. Do you have enough emergency food to get you through a sudden crisis? If not, check out My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's #1 preparedness company, and they've served millions of American families. Right now, you can save 25% off of their popular 4-week emergency food kit. You'll enjoy a hearty breakfast, lunch, dinner, with drinks and snacks totaling over 2,000 calories a day, while everyone else is waiting in the food line. Plus, this food stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. But don't wait. Go to preparewithjericho.com and claim your 4-week emergency food kit. You'll save 25% if you act now. That's preparewithjericho.com. I don't see how this debacle, nightmare, failure at the border can go this unnoticed by the mainstream mediocres. Eventually, this has to affect his presidency. Now, I just read something where, I didn't get into the article, but I saw the headline that some Republicans have drafted 3 articles of impeachment for Biden. Good luck getting that through the House and Senate. But I wonder if one of those reasons for these articles of impeachment are because of what's going on at the border. It is sick and fucked up. I just saw some footage online on Instagram, and it was just a shot going along, it's under this overpass, going along the crowd of people, and there are thousands. I heard as high as 12,000 Haitians there now. It looks like the border between 2 third world countries. Thousands of people jammed together, just standing there in the dust, in the wind, the heat. There's not enough there aren't enough restrooms. There isn't enough sanitation there. That image does not belong in America. That image looks like it's on the border of 2 poor African countries. That's what that shit looks like. And it sucks for those people too, to be in those conditions, to be almost forced into those conditions, because when you have people with, on one hand, squalor, disease, poverty, corruption, or America, the total opposite: abundance, peace, security, rights, recourse, some corruption, but our fucking leaders aren't getting shot. So yeah, which way are you going? You're going to follow the path of least resistance. You're going to follow the path of least filth and poverty and violence. Port-au-Prince is one of the most violent cities in the world. When my brother was there doing his work for the government, they couldn't leave the compound. You ever been somewhere so dangerous you couldn't leave your hotel? You wouldn't even go somewhere like that. But that's how Port-au-Prince is. And again, of course, I'm not excusing those people for bum rushing our fucking border and invading our border. I'm not excusing them for that. But when you have the leader of the free world basically saying, come on in, well, shit, you're going to come on in. You got toilets that flush here, more water and food than you know what to do with. When you dial 911, people answer and respond and come quickly. And as long as you stay out of Democrat-run shithole inner cities, you probably won't get murdered. So yeah, those people are here because you rang the fucking dinner bell. So here you go. So this is the sweet and sour sniffles is the worst thing ever. The poke is the only way out. So everybody needs to get it. Remember, he told us Biden is pervertist, got up there when they finally found him wandering around. Hey, this isn't the mall. and there's no 8-year-old heads to sniff. When they finally found his wandering, senile ass and got him in front of a microphone, he told us it's not about your liberties and your freedoms. That's not what it's about when it comes to this poke. That's like McDonald's saying, hey man, it's not about the burgers and the fries. What are you talking about? That's all it's about. That's who you are. So that's all it's about. Freedom and liberty. That's who we are. But he got up there and said, our patients are wearing thin. Time is running out. Like my dad would tell me, boy, you skating on thin ice. So he's basically threatening us. Our patients are wearing thin. You better get this poke. But when that ginger turd Saki's up there being questioned, they asked her, how come you're not making sure that all of these fucking third world residents aren't getting vaccinated before they come into our country? You know what this dummy said? She said, because they're not going to be here long. That's right, guys. The reason they're not forcing these people to get the vaccine, tens of thousands, and if you count the Afghans, hundreds of thousands of people, well, not the Afghans, but with the Haitians, tens of thousands, the reason they're not being mandated and made to get the vaccine is because they're not going to be here long, guys. They're going to be here for a couple of days. You know, they're not going to be here that long. They don't need to get vaccinated. Now, hold on. If you're infected with something, if you're infected with a virus, how long does it take to spread that virus to another person? A millisecond? Don't you have to just come in contact with or put those spores in the air? How long does it take for them to breathe it in? So they don't need to be here that long to infect us, asshole. What kind of excuse? They won't be here that long. What do you mean? Why do I need to get that? I'm not going to be here that long. When I come in your house, I'm not going to cover my mouth when I sneeze. I'm not going to be here that long. We're going to be out of here. You be fine. That's the kind of stupid shit we are dealing with. That's the caliber of moron that we're up against. She said, why are you tripping? They're not going to be here that long. Fool, you stupid American. Now you get jabbed. Go ahead. But no, they don't have to. Leave them alone. So when are these chickens going to come home to roost? Because you know damn good and well, if these same images were there when Trump was in office, oh my. Come on, guys. All them dark-skinned people down there, that's nothing but racism. That's nothing but his plan coming to fruition, putting all these colored people under these kinds of conditions. How dare you? It's his fault. Trump went down there to Haiti and brought every single one of those people here. He snatched them from their homes in the night. They were sleeping, having their little Haitian dreams, living their beautiful little Haitian lives in the Caribbean. And evil old Trump, he went down there, he said, come here, you little Haitian motherfucker. You coming up here to America so you can stand in 6 inches of shit and filth in the sun in Texas. That's what they would be saying. They would be portraying it as if Trump went down there and grabbed every single one of those people, ripped them from their homes, just like he was ripping those kids from their mother's arms at the border, and he brought him here to stand under this overpass and spread disease. Because if you think you're going to get 12,000 people in a space that small with not enough toilets without disease, then I got some beans I want to sell you. When is this shit going to come to the surface? When are these mainstream mediocres who sit here and cry about people of color? People of color. Why don't you care about people of color? You got the same people, Donna Lamone, that greasy lip bitch on CNN. You got Whoopi Goldberg stand-in, Joy Reid, talking about nobody cares about people who are missing unless they're white. Okay, you want some black faces to care about? Here's 12,000 of them. Why don't you talk about how our president created an environment where all these people would come up here and invade our fucking country? Because when you come to a border of a country with 10,000 fucking people and force your way in, that's called an invasion. I know they don't have guns and weapons and they're not sent here by a government, but an invasion is an invasion is an invasion. Now you already know, I already talked about the images of the Border Patrol agents being on horseback, but that's called rugged terrain. You can't get everywhere with a vehicle. Sometimes you need horses. And guess what? You know how you steer and control the horses? Remember my story about getting on that pony and that damn thing taking off? Well, you know how you control animals like that? You control them with reins. And reins are made of leather, just like whips. They hang down, I know, just like a whip would. But those people aren't getting fucking whipped. You mean to tell me there's people that believe that the Border Patrol sent out Border Patrol agents on horseback with whips? For what? Whips aren't for wrangling. That's not what you use to wrangle something. You don't use a whip for that. Fucking people. These mainstream mediocres ain't shit. They ain't shit. They want this racist boogeyman, but they only want him when it fits their narrative. They only want him when they have an R next to their name. If there's a D next, you know what the D stands for next to a Democrat's name? Do whatever the fuck you want. Do it. That's what it stands for. The D is not for Democrat, it's for do it. Should we basically invite tens of thousands of people to our fucking border? Do it. Should we fly them back a handful at a time? Do it. That's what it stands for. And speaking of flying these fucking Haitians back, how do you think it plays out once they get back to Haiti? Once the plane touches down in Port-au-Prince, what do you think happens? Do you think the stewardess goes to the front of the plane and says, "Thank you for flying fucking Deportation Airlines. Have a good day"? And the Haitians just grab their shit. They grab their takeout. Remember the dude in the picture with the Border Patrol agent on horseback? Homeboy had some takeout. What takeout is that? Because this fool's running for his life and he didn't drop that shit. I want to know the name of the restaurant he got that takeout from, where if you're running from someone on horseback, you don't throw that shit so you can run faster. That must be some good food. But how do you think it plays out when they land in Port-au-Prince? You think they deplane peacefully? Or do you think people got to yank them off the plane because they don't want to go back to that third world disgusting shithole? If you guess B, you're right. They're trying to jump back on the plane to get back here. Oh, man. From top to bottom, front to back, this whole situation is fucked up. And I can't wait until it lands in that old man's lap. That blanket he has over his lap when he's out there feeding the ducks in the evening time. I can't wait till this whole mess lands right in his fucking lap. But until then, I'm going to go wrap up my state-mandated meal period. The only good thing California's giving me. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Make sure you utilize the Linktree link and get on JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.